Hey, isn't it amazing how food is more than just sustenance and taste, you know? Something funny happened today. I ended up spiraling down this rabbit hole of thoughts about the ethics in our cooking. You know, like the impact our recipe choices, ingredient sourcing, and kitchen habits have on the environment and all. It's insane, right? Somehow I ended up comparing cooking to scuba diving. You know, there's this thing when you're diving, leave only bubbles, take only photos. It made me think, what if we apply a similar principle in our kitchen? Not literally, of course. I can't imagine a kitchen with only bubbles and photos of food. I'd still be hungry then. Well, Yuna and Juwan seemed pretty interested in the idea. We ended up brainstorming about planet-friendly culinary adventures. Can you imagine us rummaging through a local farmer's market, us city folks, hunting for the freshest of veggies and most organic ingredients? Not just because they taste better, but because they're good for our earth. Makes me feel like a culinary superhero, saving the world one meal at a time. Yuna decided to tag along since she wanted to buy some seafood as well. Gosh, I can already hear my brain storming up seafood and organic veggie pasta recipes. An eco-warrior in an Italian chef's hat, now that's an image. But let's not forget Juwan. Trust me, his vegetable stir-fry is legendary. Ours might end up being an elevated, greener version of it. And guess what? We decided to hit the beach this weekend for a cleanup. Suddenly seems the best place to be, right? I guess it's a good way to give back, you know. It's like finding a way to thank Mother Earth for those succulent tomatoes and crisp spinach. One step at a time, my friend, we can make a difference. You know what's funny? All this talk about food has me craving some spaghetti right now. Isn't it amazing how just writing about something can make you feel like you're rediscovering it? That's what happened to me today. I started a blog about the whole global food culture. Penning down my thoughts, personal anecdotes, those unforgettable kitchen mishaps, you know? The whole drill. It's interesting how when you write, you tend to look at things from a different perspective. I have been interacting with Samantha, a member of my newly joined blogging community. Her suggestions have been helpful. I feel like I've taken a step back to look at my culinary journey from a distance, and it's an uncanny experience, to be honest. But isn't it funny how science fiction finds its way into our lives? Speaking of, Juwan found this bizarre sci-fi novel today, something about alien veggies trying to dominate the Earth. I found it compelling in a strange way. I mean, why shouldn't vegetables be the aliens for once, right? It gave me an idea. Maybe I can write a blog post themed around alien veggies, who knows? And on another note, I've been trying to expand my horizons. Yuna mentioned this documentary about corals, so I thought I'd give it a go. I mean, isn't it kind of perfect? Between work and my new blogging venture, I can find a bit of time to learn something different. How often do you stumble upon such coincidences, right? I always wanted to see corals while diving, and here's an entire documentary. Who knows, maybe tomorrow I'd encounter a diver's guide to underwater exploration, or even better, an undersea cookbook. I actually might not mind cooking underwater. The possibility is simultaneously frightening and exciting, you know? But hey, jokes apart, maybe we sometimes limit ourselves too much. Imagine the possibilities if we dare to think beyond the conventional boundaries, our habits, our patterns, all those invisible walls that we've built around ourselves. This blog, the documentary, or even the sci-fi novel Juwan found, they're all reminders that the world's a much, much bigger place. And as I see it, it's up to us whether we choose to stay cocooned in our comfortable little corners or venture out into the unknown. Well, at least now I have a blog where I can articulate all these thoughts. I guess I need to stop this philosophical monologue and get back to wrapping up my day's work. From dicing veggies to keying in blog posts, life truly knows how to offer a platter of surprises, yeah? Anyway, cheers to an eventful day, right? You know what's funny? I was just having a regular Saturday, deciding to be a little adventurous in exploring Seoul, right? and out of nowhere I discover this golden nugget, a jazz bar tucked beautifully in an unsuspecting alleyway. I mean, who knew, right? What an absolute gem. The warm, inviting atmosphere, the kind of sax music you'd fall in love with, enough to make you lose track of time. Courtesy of today's urban exploration, my playlist has now become inclusive of some fabulous jazz music. Found a vinyl record shop nearby, and ended up picking an exquisite Billie Holiday record. How classy, isn't it? It's just perfectly amazing how you can find some peace, standing right at the heart of the city, with this old, yet new soul I discovered today. Reminded me a lot about why I love this city in the first place, and believe me, there's always something about jazz that just soothes your soul, you know? Isn't it amazing how all these little unplanned adventures can get you hooked up with new experiences? It's like diving into unknown waters, and oh boy, that's quite a rush, right? Since I was out there, I also checked out an old bookstore. Rummaging through the dusty pile of forgotten classics, one could just smell the nostalgia. I feel like my little expedition today kind of rejuvenates my bond with soul. Kind of like a great stir-fry, it's all about mixing all these diverse elements, getting the perfect balance. Jazz, a dash of adventure, and a sprinkle of Billie Holiday's soulful tunes. You get what I'm saying, right? Had a chat about this with Yuna and Juwan. And you know what else is funny? We started joking about incorporating this newfound jazz love into my cooking, and maybe spinning some vinyl while chopping veggies, and cooking up a storm at the kitchen. Imagine that. DJ chef or something of that sort. It's hilarious how random thoughts can spiral into a great conversation and eventually end up as a blog post idea.